Welcome back. Hello.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, it's good. We, not much to update on. Every day is the same, over and over again until we die. So
It is a looped reality. It is a Groundhog Day hell scenario. The simulation has reached its conclusion, and we're just waiting at the checkpoint for the next part of it to come and load, so we can keep playing. But it doesn't seem like it's coming. Seems like the developers maybe
forgot about us,
fell asleep or died. So welcome to the Matrix.
At the wheel. I did start watching a new show last night. There's like that show on Hulu about the last man alive on Earth. It's based on a comic book.
Man on Earth? No. What? The Will Forte show?
No.
Not the Will Forte show.
There's another one.
Okay.
That's not called The Last Man on Earth because that's the Will Forte show.
Okay.
This one is like a comic, like a Walking Dead, a graphic novel, if you will, that was then created into a gritty TV show. I truly forgot why I started talking about it, so that's all I'll say.
Well, that's, you know what? You don't need a reason.
I will say it does start off rough with a CGI monkey, a capuchin. And that is not a way I would like any show to begin, because there's just no way to make a CGI monkey look good.
But if I could play devil's advocate real quick.
For fuck's sake, this is such a Gemini thing. Do it. Just do it.
I just feel like real monkeys on camera are starting to, like, they've somehow become gimmicky. Like, no one likes seeing a real monkey either.
What? So somebody sees a CGI monkey and they're like, that's the nitty gritty. That's the good stuff.
I'm not saying it's CGI monkey's better. I'm saying, yeah, both. So you see a real monkey, you're like, this again? I didn't like it when it was on Friends, and I won't like it now. Ooh. And if you see a CGI monkey, you're like, this fucking shit, like, we're over-relying on CGI again. Like, why aren't we using real practical effects? So I feel like, for some reason, with monkeys specifically, on film, it is a double-edged sword.
I've never realized it was with monkeys specifically, but thank you for opening my eyes. I will say that it is, I'm not one to like to rail against technology very often, because I think that it's dumb to do that. I find myself doing it a lot. But, like, it is genuinely upsetting that, like, they don't film movies in places anymore. Like, they just film them in big green rooms.
You know,
like, they don't
yes.
ever film anything outside anymore.
Yeah, it is definitely, like, I love a practical effect. I love a practical set. I love an on-location thingy-majig. Yeah. There's definitely some instances where the technology has gotten good enough that, like, it certainly makes sense, because if you're Game of Thronesing it, you probably can't create a whole barren wasteland practically.
They did Sometimes it. They've done it.
They've done it.
In the past.
They have done it, and it's possible. And I really feel like, for some reason, I cannot commit to one or the other. Like, I'm seeing both sides a lot.
Oh, like there's twins. Like there's two twins that see two different sides.
Bad twin inside.
Like
me.
There's it's like a Gemini thing.
A duality of man living in me.
It's two wolves inside of you. They're both named Talon.
They're both named Talon. One's hungry.
And one's hungrier.
One's hungrier because they're stoned. And which wolf do I feed? Both of them.
Both of them.
I'm hungry.
Because
we can eat.
Yeah, we don't get to pick. We don't always get to pick which hole it goes down, you know? Anyway. Anyways, we're not a movie podcast. How's your week going? How's it going? I already talked about how nothing in my life has changed, so.
Yeah, well, mine's going good. I've done a lot. I'm soft wrapped for Dearest Ava.
Oh my God, wrapped like a little fleece bunny rabbit because it's soft.
Yeah, soft wrap meaning I'll definitely need to film some more stuff, but we've reached the end of the main original film schedule.
Wow.
Other than the pickup dates.
How do you feel? What's like the emotion? Give me 3 emotions you're feeling.
Excited. And I think curious is one. I think a lot of that curiosity comes from playing a part that is somewhat removed from a lot of the other casts, so I'm like...
Odd man out.
A little bit, yeah. Like
Lone wolf, if you will.
I get to make a movie. I get to have my cake and eat it too, and then I get to make a thing and also enjoy watching it with like fresh eyes because I won't have seen so much of it.
I do love fresh eyes.
I do love fresh eyes, and the third emotion I am feeling is
horny.
I was gonna say
for the
hairy.
movie. All right, two ends of the spectrum. Those are the names of the two wolves inside of you: horny and hairy.
Horny and hairy. Yeah, you can guess which one is stoned.
It's hairy.
Anyway, it's fun. I was realizing, you know what? I was realizing in the last filming day I did that a lot of this project, Dear Stava, it's a lot like the misconnection section. It's a lot of, I mean, for my character, it's a lot of communicating via letters that might as well, you know, back in the day, letters used to take so long to get from one person to the other. It might as well have just been a misconnection. Because, you know, I have very limited contact with the other end of it, and I don't know that they're going to see anything within, could be a week. You know?
Wow, this is, it's just like, I hope that you took the director's side and you said, hey, I have some inspiration from my character that you might not, you know, might not have seen, but I know where it's going.
Yeah, you know, I really feel like using my expertise in the subject, this George fella, if he were trying to do a court a young lady, he might say something in a letter that'd be like, hey, I saw you in the garden, and I was just wondering what that mouth do. Like, you know, something like that would be...
Yeah. Would be like the right tone to take, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We did a couple of extra takes to satisfy my needs there. And whether or not they make the final cut, who knows? Who knows? You're going to... If you see my character starting to talk about, like, big dick energy or... Dad ass or, you know... a good milfy constitution or any of the terminology you might find in our podcast, then you'll know that my improv made it in. So we'll see.
I've been waiting for the milfy constitution to make it into the podcast, so I'm looking forward to it.
You get the centennial's coming around, and let me just get ready, all you fans of milfy constitutions out there. We got some fun plans for you.
We got some milfing to do. Yeah, speaking of milfing to do, should we start the podcast?
Yeah, because I really do want to make sure I get a head start on my milfing before I get to bed. So we should start the podcast. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
You caught my eye in the grocery line, and I fancied myself a man worth your time. Couldn't help thinking I wish you were mine. A man-seeking woman whose total is 589. Well, I don't do this often. I'm not like the guys, which is why I find myself in a sort of
Podcast for listener, also seeking doctor to check on our cousin's oversized testicles. It's time for another Craig's Essential Crisis, the show where we take the misconnection section into new directions. I'm Talon Bigelow.
I'm Sarah Thompson.
And what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. But here's how the show works, if you don't know what a misconnection is. Sarah, what's a misconnection?
Yeah.
For our less initiated.
Yeah, say it nicely. The misconnection section is a section of a website called Craigslist. It's free to post on. God made it free, thank God. And you basically go in there. It's like a message board in a coffee shop where you can leave a little note for somebody that you saw in passing, didn't make a move on them at the time, and you regret it. So now you're making your move on the internet to a bunch of strangers in the hopes that they'll email you and be the one.
The one. And it happens all the time.
It happens all the time. This is
matches
the start of
made.
so many love stories.
If you did a quick poll around all the married people you know, I think you'd find 90% of them Met in the
misconnection section.
Met in the misconnection section.
Something we also do is read these cold. So Talon finds his favorites of the week or the past 2 weeks. I find my favorite of the past 2 weeks. We send them to each other, having never seen them before, and read them live. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and read one that Talon sent to me. He was so kind, so
Please
sweet,
do.
so gentle.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a service I provide.
You said hi to Terry at the bus stop. It's Terry. You said hi to me. By name and everything. Smiley emoji. I'm so nearsighted. You had a beard. Assuming you're a dude? This happens kind of a lot. Am I being heckled? Or do I have friends I don't know about? Boy, Terry's got... Terry seems very nonchalant about this. And I would be terrified.
Terrified. Go on.
I wish I didn't have to. I wish I didn't have to live a moment longer after hearing that. I would be so scared if people came up to me and seemingly knew my name. Because this isn't the first time this has happened. Like, once is fun. Once is like, oh, I'm nearsighted. That's not fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to make, light of somebody's disability. But, once is fine. Once is like, oh, that must have been a friend. But this happens a lot.
Yeah.
And saying this out loud, I'm thinking to myself, Terry, do you wear a name tag to and from work? Could this be the issue?
I mean, it's still not the issue. If they could be wearing a name tag, but they're still so nearsighted, they'd have no way of knowing if the person calling out the name knew them or not.
Yeah, but it would be less scary than just a group of strangers
it would be
somehow
less scary,
knowing your name.
But I think we're trying to manufacture a situation that is less scary. When in fact, I don't think this person's wearing a name tag. I think these people know them by name.
And they're just so
she is
nearsighted.
Just passing them by.
They have so many friends. I don't run into that many people I know on a daily basis.
I've definitely hung around people who just seem to know everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe Terry is one of those. That is
people.
Very true. I did have a friend in college who every time we went anywhere, people knew him. It was almost ridiculous.
Yeah, I had a friend who I also, kind of a roommate at one point. So I was around him a lot, but at any time we were out on the street, they would get at least recognized by 3 people. No less. Always. At least.
It's like being a celebrity without any of the perks. Only the bad parts.
Yeah, and for me, it was like, you're walking around with a celebrity that's also your mom, and it has to take an extended 15-minute time period to say goodbye to anybody they suddenly strike up a conversation with, and you just want to get home to play Mario Kart.
Yeah, I will say that is a real thing that sticks with you. I feel like I still have not stress dreams about it. I just think about how stressful it was to be a child and have no autonomy about where you were at any given time, and just
my God.
If your mom decided she wanted to spend 3 hours in Target, you had to spend 3 hours in Target.
Right. And pre-texting, when moms would see each other, that would be the time for, that.
That's it.
That is the date. That is where the download of information comes. That's the gossip. That's the
all
hot
of it. Goss.
Is right there.
Now we just blow our load every time we have hot goss. We don't build it up. There's no delayed gratification. Thank you. I don't know who I'm thanking. You didn't help at all. I did that all on my own. But
thank God.
Thank God. But yeah, anytime I have goss, it's like I send it out to my networks. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it feels like did you have a parent tree at your school? If there was something happening, a phone tree?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like a one-woman phone tree.
Your sole responsibility is to make sure everyone's informed on the recent goss.
Hottest of gosses.
You can't get that goss below Luke Hot even.
Luke, who is he? Cool Hand Luke.
Him. So, in regards to this misconnection here, it feels like Terry, you gotta get some glasses.
Yeah.
You probably gotta try and listen. Do you need help with getting that prescription? Do you need a hand?
Yeah.
Feels like I just couldn't live in a world where I just couldn't see people trying to talk to me, like, right in front of me, like ever.
I used to be afraid, and I still am afraid that I'm a little bit face blind, but I don't think I am. I think I just have the worst memory of all human time.
All human time.
Because I don't recognize anyone ever until they're literally in front of my face. And so I sympathize with Terry. It's a scary world when people seem to know you and you don't know them.
Oh, I mean, who among us hasn't had that moment?
Whomst.
Yeah. But whom among us? Who?
Among us. Sus. That's for the tweens out there.
All the tweens listening. Yeah, I don't like being in a world where people recognize me and I don't recognize them at all. But, at least I can see them and I can recognize whether or not I might recognize them. Maybe. Sometimes you know people, but you don't know how you know them. That's what I encounter plenty all the time.
Yeah.
Someone will start talking to me and say hi to me, and I'm like, is this a work person? Did I meet you? Did you come to a show? Like, do I know you from school?
Just say something really secretive to them, and then see if they look super shocked or not, and then you'll be able to gauge how close you are as people.
So, still, I've been training to take on more hit jobs.
I don't look impressed, so that's how you know that I know you very well.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that's a foolproof plan. Terry, feel free to use that. That is yours. Our gift to give, your gift to use.
But, get some glasses, or at least maybe carry, a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
So, if someone approaches you, you hear your name called, you just pull it out of your pocket and be like, oh, hello, one sec. There's a bug I'm trying to track, and you just put the magnifying glass, kind of closer to their face, so you can get kind of over that nearsightedness, get a magnifying image of their face in view. They don't suspect anything because they think you're tracking a bug. It would be helpful if you wore, a safari vest and, one of those hats that goes with
with the flaps.
Yeah, with the flaps. It's just to really sell it. Because they won't question it if you look like you know what you're doing. And they'll just be like, oh,
everyone will be like,
say hi to my friend Terry, but...
Oh, Animal Crossing.
It seems like, they're busy. They're busy at the moment.
Isn't that an Animal Crossing thing? Don't they do that in that game?
You can catch bugs. That's true.
Yeah, I'm a gamer girl. I know about it. All right, I've got one for you, Talon. Here you go.
Thank you so much. And thank you again to Terry just for sharing a part of yourself. Putting yourself in misconnections, never easy to do, and we like to salute everybody who does.
Unless you're a pervert.
Unless you're a pervert. But if you're at home, take a shot for every misconnection we read. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
There, I had to kill the joke.
Don't
Bye.
do that.
Should have exchanged in for... You picked me up on Crow Canyon. Gave me a ride. And you 4 short of a 12-pack. It was great getting to know you, but we did not exchange information. Not sure you will see this, but I want to do it all over again.
Subtle dig there. 4 short of a 12-pack, were you?
4 short of a 12-pack. In this case, meaning to you what? Because I know what that might mean to me without other context.
Wait, I was imagining abs?
Are we just trying to say that they have a 6-pack? Because that math doesn't check out.
8. That's an 8-pack.
Is that a thing you can have on your body?
Yeah. I don't know. Does it look like I know, Talon? I have no fucking idea how many packs one is allowed to have on their abdominal muscles.
For years, I've heard of 6-packs, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And now you're telling me 8, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. Is that possible? If you're long enough, I guess.
Yeah.
You need more,
long torsos muscles. Unite is all I gotta say.
Long torsos, I'll never understand.
You'll never
only
get
short
it.
Enough for a 4-pack.
I wish I was shaped like Mike Wazowski.
Like me?
It's optimal. It's prime. It's prime.
It's Optimus Prime.
It's Optimus Prime. Sexy.
Yeah, we can't all be shaped like the great Mike Wazowski, such as me. But 4 short of a 12-pack, to me, that sounds like a diss, but...
Yeah, no, it definitely feels like that. Or are you calling them stupid?
I mean,
damn.
I don't know what it sounds like to me, but they're also saying I want to do it all over again. So maybe they're into that. Maybe they got some sort of like a bimbo thing.
A himbo bimbo.
A himbo bimbo situation. A himbo bimbo thembo. Do they call them thembos? Because they should.
I think they do, actually.
Well, there you fucking go.
Or are they drunk driving, which we don't advocate for?
Oh, shit. Like, you picked me up, and you were already 4 beers into your 12-pack that was just for you and the road.
That's not good. Don't do that, guys.
But maybe they were into the thrill of it, because they did say it. Want to do it all over again.
Into the thrill of it. Backyardigans fans unite. Sorry. What?
Well, I was just saying, would you pay less for a Lyft ride if the driver was allowed to drink? Like, you can get a super discounted ride on Lyft. But the driver is allowed 1 beer.
No.
But hold on, per half hour.
No, I would not. That's just paying somebody to drink drive. No. What am I, British?
Real cheap. Like it's like a $4 ride.
No. I am good at being my own designated driver if I need to be.
That's good. That's good for you.
I went to a bar yesterday. And my stomach's been really messed up. And so I just kept ordering Coca-Colas. And the bartender, I was just very confused about why I, an adult woman, kept ordering Coca-Colas at the bar. And at one point, my friend I was with, I was like, oh, can I get you a refill on your drink? And she was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, what do you want? And she's like, actually, I kind of want a Coca-Cola. And so I had to look the man at the bar in the face and say, 2 Coca-Colas, please. And then I had to double fist my Coca-Colas as I walked out the door. It was a real adult moment for me. So I just...
Maybe I thought you were a teenager trying to, like, work up the courage to, like...
Yeah.
Ask for a beer.
Be like, ooh, could I get a Coca-Cola with a little rum in it?
To start, I'm going to just have your finest Coca-Cola. And I'm going to work my way up to alcohol.
Hey.
I'm thirsty for a Coke right now. You know how it is, man. Am I right?
You get it.
Like, what do I call you? What's your name?
I don't know what he thought my deal was, but he shouldn't have been judging my deal because lots of sober people go to bars.
Lots.
That's the thing is that there's nowhere else that's really great to like socialize that's not alcohol centric. You know, it's really frustrating. Like in periods of my life when I've been sober, it's been really like I don't mind going to bars and not drinking, but it's been like a real eye opener being like our society is so weird.
True.
In that we don't have any like community spaces together that aren't like centered around alcohol.
I think that's true. I think a lot of the beer I have had in my life, even though I grew to like it and like certain things, I think there's definitely more times where I'd rather not have a beer, but it's like, it's the place we're at.
Yeah.
It might as well, everyone else is having a beer, I'll have a beer. Like, It does become kind of like you do what other people are doing. And I agree, Yeah. I think bars should be trying just as hard on virgin drinks.
Yeah.
I like a cool cocktail, but, like, if you got a good milkshake, I'm also so down.
I went to the Buy and Buy today, and they had mocktails for, like, $3. And I was like, that's brilliant. That's great. Yeah. And I love that.
I love it, too.
Yeah, I'm a cool lady. I've gone to bars several days in a row this week. Tell it to my pocketbook. Okay, I've got another one from you.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bro Canyon.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Writers. Thief, return my USB drive today. I felt if I had stolen this person's, I would have returned it because I felt the power in that you.
I got scared. Honestly, it kind of lures into a false sense of security because the title seems
fun.
You know, they got a lot of potential for fun, for something light. And then the body immediately accuses the reader of being a thief.
It did grab me by the throat, yes.
Yeah, this is how any good sales pitch should start.
Yeah, thief.
Thief.
Is that how? Wait, that's how any good sales pitch should start. Thief.
It really, just gets your attention. Like, you're gonna be like, sir, how would you like to? I'm already, I'm tuned out.
Yeah.
But if a guy on the street, like at a table, like I'm walking by, and I go, thief. I'm like, huh? What did I do? Hi, would you like to buy some Cutco knives? Like, I don't know. Okay.
I'd love some. That's.
If it'll help you think I'm not a thief, I'll give you my money.
That is
I get it.
Good to know that if I ever need to get you involved in like a multi-level marketing scheme, I can just have you come over and say, thief! Speaking of multi-level marketing schemes, today I was talking with some friends about like Tupperware parties and stuff. Did your mom ever go to any Tupperware parties or... did she go to
that's a white thing.
It is? Is it really? Damn.
Honestly, like, explain the concepts to me.
Yeah, it honestly, it is like, it feels like a multi-level marketing scheme. It also might have been like a weird private school thing, which also, you know, may be analogous with being a white people thing.
You know, yeah, I feel like that Venn diagram might be closer to a circle.
Pretty close. But basically what happened is like one of the moms in the mom group would like have sometimes it would be like a representative would come from the company, like a Tupperware representative, but sometimes it would be like the mom would be like, oh, I'm gonna make a little money on the side, and they'd have like catalogs of Tupperware, and then everyone would come over and they would like give you snacks and drinks and like show you the coolest Tupperwares and have like samples and stuff.
Okay, the coolest Tupperwares.
So that's a Tupperware party. They also had Pampered Chef parties, which is the same thing but with kitchen gadgets.
Sure.
And they also, what I just learned, my mom never got invited to these, but they had like knockoff like designer parties where you could buy like Foch and like Frada.
Fucci.
Yeah, and Fucci. Which my mom never got invited to those ones, but I just learned today that those existed as well in the Catholic school mom circuit. So, fun fact.
Is there any sort of like, I feel like there's versions of that party that I'd be interested in. Like, I'm not so much interested in Tupperware, but if you were going to invite me to like a fake Ray-Ban party, I might be like...
Oh, they have those all the time on Instagram. Do you not see every time somebody's Instagram account?
Oh, I see all the invites going out all the time on Twitter and Facebook. I'm waiting to get invited to one.
Yeah. I will say I went to one for like a natural foods. And somebody like held it at like their grandma's retirement home in the community center, and it was lit. There were like 900 types of dip. That's mainly what I remember from it. It was great. I was like 11. It was great.
It's like an all-you-can-dip buffet.
Dip your little child crackers and everything.
I don't like child crackers. I feel like
I was a child cracker once. Talon, did you not like me?
Oh, yikes. You're always making things about race.
I am. It's because I'm a racist.
Do you think the person who wrote this... Okay, is the person themselves a writer? Did another writer maybe steal a flash drive from a USB... from a writer? This is where they've been saving all their good writing ideas.
That's a fascinating subject, or a fascinating thought. If it was like rival writers and one of them stole the other's USB, that's much more exciting. Yeah, I don't know why they put writers as the subject. That would, if I was a thief who'd stolen a USB and I just so happened to be on Missed Connections, that is not the subject line I think that would grab my interest. But I am not a thief, so
I mean, unless they know something we don't know, so that's one of the pros. But yeah, honestly, like, also, who steals a USB drive? Have you ever, like, I've definitely come across USB drives in the wild, even just sitting there, even just one sitting on the road. I've never thought to take one home and like put it in my computer.
That's Virus Town. That
seems like a bad idea.
That's like dipping your wick in something dangerous.
By wick, you mean penis?
Yes.
And by something dangerous, like
you mean a stranger?
Anything.
Yes.
Yeah, like a fire, a stranger, a can of beans. There's a lot of things that you shouldn't dick it in.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant dip it in, but I said dick it in. You shouldn't dick it in.
Yeah, I think that's dangerous. You shouldn't stick USBs in things. Sorry, you got really close to the screen. Did you want to say something private?
No. I just am antsy, I guess. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Shoot.
Well,
I forgot what I was going to say. It's fine.
Well, I mean, it'll come to you. Regardless, yeah, I just don't know that if I lose a USB drive. If I lose a USB drive, I definitely think I lost a USB drive more than I think someone stole my USB drive.
Yeah. Well, this might be one of those people. You know, there are those people that will never admit fault. And every time something goes wrong, they're like, it's not like they lost something. They're like, somebody stole this thing. And it's like, no, I think you probably just like misplaced it.
It's true. I often accuse people of stealing things from me only to find them later.
It's mainly just Mishka you accuse.
Mishka stole my hairbrush. For what end, I don't know.
To be a fancy boy.
But I can't stand living with a thief. Oh, look, I conveniently found my hairbrush in my backpack. Well,
he shouldn't have placed it there.
Someone returned it. Still got a little bit of Mishka's hair in it. Could be mine. It's black, but he's got a little bit of black.
He's got like also. tiny black strings.
Some patches.
I was gonna say there was a point in my life where USBs were like very integral to my life, and I had everyone had to have one. Yeah. And I am very glad that phase of life is over and that we've moved beyond the need for USBs.
It seems short. It seemed like a very short period of time. Like floppy disk lasted longer.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. And I think that maybe that's why Joule works so well on a subconscious level, because it looks like a little USB, and so your brain instantly goes, I need that.
Because it taps into the child that has always wanted to put that USB drive
in
right
their
in
mouth. Well,
right in their mouth.
I'm weird and I chew on things all the time, so I will guarantee that I've chewed on a USB before, and it's not all it's built up to be.
I would, I could see that being true.
Rude. All right, here's another one for you.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
Dragon meets wizard for first time. We were walking away from How Weird Fest. You were wearing a multicolored sheer garment. You said I could be the gnome you were looking for all your life. Perhaps because of my tall hat. You said, I will see you on Craigslist. I hope you remember. I do.
I had a lot of thoughts about this one, but I want to get your impressions first.
Okay, first impressions. I don't know what How Weird Fest is, so that's... I'm also noticing it takes place on nearby Howard Street. Is that a coincidence? Is it like a pun? I don't think so. Because the pin isn't exactly on Howard Street. It's just nearby it. So that seems like a coincidence. Dragon meets wizard. You multicolored sheer garment. Which one? Are they the dragon or are they the wizard? I can't tell. You said I could be the gnome you're looking for. I guess that's the writer. They're the wizard. So the multicolored sheer garment makes a dragon? How? A lot of questions. And I don't know what the gnome that they were looking for all their life. That's got a lot of...
Well, that feels mean. I feel like if you were dressed as a wizard, you would be that would kind of take the wind out of your sails if somebody fucking called you a gnome.
Yeah.
I feel like that would hurt my feelings if I was a wizard, somebody called me a gnome.
That's got to feel like when you call like a real cop, like a mall cop.
Ooh, you're like, what kind of Paul Blart are you, Mr. Oinker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here's my... I mean, you already accused me of making it all about race earlier, so now this is going to feel really poignant. I just got really nervous when I read this one because those are two classes of the KKK.
Dragons and wizards.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
You're not wrong. Like I
got
mean,
really nervous. But I do think it was innocent, but it is... I don't... There was a moment where I was nervous.
That's fair. Going back to episode 1 of this show,
Please.
I think
wow,
it was clear that possibly
there
are people on this site that maybe have ulterior motives.
No.
And maybe do communicate in code to hide their racism.
No.
I think that you're not wrong for seeing this, and we have witnessed it many a time. Listener, go back and check.
Go back
and check.
Listen to our whole archive.
Honestly, listen to it all, and will you just tell me everything I've ever talked about? So I just
honestly,
don't repeat myself because I forget.
I have no idea. That would be the dream: is to someone get rich enough that have an intern to listen to every single episode and write just do Sparks notes of every episode. So I have no idea what stories I've told. As a person, I feel like I have 5 stories I tell.
Yeah. I have fantasized about this so much. I have fantasized about having someone on staff for us who just catalogs our all of our episodes and just every episode, like, cataloged with, like, key phrases, so I can just type in. Like, if I think I'm about to tell a story I've already told, I just type in the words into our catalog. Bee sting? Episode 774. I did tell this story.
Yep.
Good. And I can just move on. And I'm so sorry if you've ever heard a story we've already told. I apologize.
But this is, I feel like one of the plus sides of this podcast is it feels like we're all friends, right? Yeah. You and I are friends. You and I and the listener are friends. Me and the listener are friends. I don't know how you and the listener are. I'm not going to get involved. But
we're more than acquaintances. I wouldn't ask to, like, hang out one-on-one yet, but that's just, like, my own personal...
Yeah, boundaries.
Like, boundaries and especially with COVID and everything, those have gotten like, a little more intense. So it's, like, nothing on you, listener. It's just all on my end, and I'm working to break through those walls. So thank you for your patience.
Proud of you. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, thank you.
Boy, brain just empty for a moment there. Point is, that is really what it's like being friends with people, is you hear their stories about 400 times. So I'll just say it's part of the ambiance. If I've ever told a story twice, I'm not going to apologize because it's just part of the ambiance of being friends with me. Okay, I've got another misconnection from you.
Give it.
Looking for Dorian, Griffin, or Shepherd. I'm looking for a man named Dorian. The Griffin last name was that of his mother's husband, and Dorian may not be using it. We went to school together in Cotati, California in 1991 with his younger brother, Shepherd. They have a much younger sister. I think her name is Ricky. He was gifted artistically and could draw anything. I think his mother's name is Gina. I could truly draw a family tree based on this.
There's a density of information.
Yeah, I think the one that really got me going was the Griffin last name was that of his mother's husband. If that wasn't a snarled...
sentence continues.
Yeah. There's a snarled tangle of a sentence. That's it, right there.
It's very convoluted. This whole thing is a mystery that if you can crack this code, you get the gift to eternal life. It's a little bit the Portrait of Dorian Gray, but yeah.
But not inspired for any reason. Just
not inspired for any reason. But they seem to be. They're looking for a man named Dorian. I mean,
connection
you
here.
Heard it. You heard it.
You think
they're looking for the secret to eternal youth in Seattle? If you were wondering, that's where.
That's where it is, near the Argosy Cruises. Which for some reason is marked on this Google map. I'm confused. Anyways,
well, if you got to know where the cruises are, you got to make sure on the map that you put them in the water. Otherwise, people are going to be real confused. They're going to be looking all over land and be like, "Where are the boats?
Where are the cruises at?"
You gotta mark it.
Yeah, interesting. Lots of family here.
I love just like dropping it at the end too. Like he was gifted artistically and could draw anything. Like that's incredible if true.
I'm sure there's no hyperbole here. I am sure that is 100% true.
And it also makes me think like this person desperately needs something drawn for them.
I'm wondering like, if they were incredibly gifted artistically, if they could draw anything, then could you be like, could you draw the way I die? Like, is
oh
this
my
like
God.
they
can draw things
situation?
You haven't even been seen yet. Yes, yeah, you could ask them to draw.
What is, I don't know why this is the first person that popped in my head. What is Osama bin Laden doing right now? And then they would draw it, but it would be nothing because
draw the face of the Prophet Muhammad.
No.
They could do it though.
Trick.
I'm not saying like they should do it, but they could.
They might be. What's the word? All right. Anyways,
omnipotent. I don't know. I don't have any.
They might be obligated to, but that's
they might
not
be
the
obligated
right word.
Sure.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, they could draw anything. Like, yeah, you could ask them like draw the last frame of the upcoming Dexter reboot, and you could
it would just be a brother and sister making out again.
Oh,
Ooh, Dexter Burn.
Dexter Burn.
Dexter Burn.
Dexter Burn. That is weird, though, and like we don't really talk about it.
We don't talk about it as a society, but
we don't really talk about society how
we need to like process it as a society, but like
those actors, they played brother and sister, but then they were dating, and then they weren't dating, and then there's a lot of awkwardness around filming that show because of the.
But then they like got together in the show, like.
Right. Well, you know, I don't remember. Did that happen?
Yeah. No, it did.
Did that happen?
Yes, that's how it ended. God.
Wait, I don't know if that's how it ended.
No, it is. Talon. Why don't you believe me? Yes. It ended with him and his sister getting together. Okay, we're not going to look this up right now, but I guarantee you 100%.
I'm pretty sure I watched Dexter, and I just...
No, that happened.
It ends... I mean, that's not where he leaves off.
Okay, I don't know if like that's like the final scene before the blackout of the show.
And how did they get together? And why would they?
They did. Okay, we're gonna argue about this later, and everyone also listening is yelling at you and telling you that I'm right and you're wrong.
I hope you're right. I really do, because
I don't believe you. I'm sending you another misconnection because I'm getting mad.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. For some reason, this misconnection, it's like hot to the touch, so I can feel your anger. Here goes. But you already knew that, didn't you? You can look for it wherever you want, but you'll never find what it was. No matter how hard you try, it will never be the same.
What do we think that it is here? Do we think it's love?
Virginity. I don't know. Is this a riddle?
Yes, you know what? This is astonishingly like those abstinent pamphlets they gave us in Catholic school. It will never be the same. No matter how hard you try, you can look for it however you want, but you'll never find what it was.
Save yourself for Jesus.
Save yourself for Jesus. But you already knew that, didn't you?
This
just seems like really pointed and also gives no context to help the person that's supposed to be reading it find it, you know?
Do you think this is the person who stole the USB drive?
Oh my God. You're so right. Talon.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
You can look for it wherever you want, but you'll never find what it was. No matter how hard you try, it'll never be the same.
Writer, because he will never write it again exactly the same as he wrote it the first time.
Oh shit. He stole this person's screenplay draft files and is inserting different words into it, and it'll never be the same.
No. Wow. Honestly, this has to be up there with like the top like 6 Craigslist conspiracies that we've cracked.
Yeah, if anyone's making a YouTube series about Craigslist conspiracies, we should definitely be one. We should be credited for unearthing a lot of them.
We would like to be credited with money and words.
Yeah, and we'll even just take words. And 3...
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, this is one. This is one. So anyway, mystery solved. If you're looking for your flash drive person from a couple of misconnections ago, you better hit up this person while you can.
They fucking got it, dude.
But even though they claim no matter how hard you try, it'll never be the same, I say you don't give up. If something matters to you, you chase after it.
Sorry, a car just drove by literally laying on their horn. So I had to turn off my mic, so that's why that awkward pause happened. For everybody listening, we live in a city. It's great. Okay.
We live in a society.
We live in a society. Okay, I got another one from you here.
Yeah, take it away.
Jill went to EVCC around 2014 film class. We had a couple of classes together. Film class, for sure. You lived in North Everett by the college with your mom and dad. Drove a white car. Worked at the buffet doing cotton candy. I found a note I wrote you yesterday in a notebook from class 7 years ago. Just wanted to say hi. See how you were. I'm sorry, you can get a job at a buffet just doing the cotton candy?
I didn't know they had cotton candy at buffets.
I guess in Everett, Washington they do. Apparently we need to scoot on over.
I guess. Most of the buffets I've been to in Washington were like Chinese buffets. Cotton candy wasn't like a big part of that.
Not
so
a
it might
player.
be just like an old country buffet type thing. And maybe this is like a white food buffet thing I don't know about.
Yes. as a white, I had no idea. I'm missing this piece of my culture.
Yeah.
Only now do I feel the gap in my heart where the cotton candy at the buffet would be.
It does make sense to me that like white people like would be big on cotton candy. Whose culture is cotton candy? Where does it come from? I feel like it's pretty white. It's pretty Caucasian to me.
Well, I feel like there are definitely some Asian cultures that do spun sugar candies.
Sure, but like
cotton candy,
like peanuts in bags, funnel cakes, cotton
candy.
That's as American as apple pie. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The circus is white culture. There we go.
That's pretty true. I would agree with that. Making cotton candy is also extremely fun. I will say that I did do it at a football game once and had a blast. Really felt like it was my calling.
Were you doing it? Were you serving people, or were you doing it
just renegade?
Just for you?
No, I was serving people.
Cool.
They let me serve people. They didn't keep me in the back. Yeah, it was fun. That's all I had to say about that.
Cotton candy was a good time.
Just love how cash this is. They're expecting them to still live in the same area 7 years later.
What do you think this is? I mean, is there anyone you would like to reach out to you from a class you had 7 years ago? What reason would that be?
No, I mean, I feel like I pretty much stayed in contact with everyone I really would care about.
You would think, right? Because I'm here scratching my head like, why would I ever need to contact someone from school at, 7 years later? What would drive me to check in on someone unless I was madly in love with them?
Possibility.
Or maybe I had like a suspicion that they maybe accidentally borrowed my flash drive and never gave it back or something. But that's it.
The mystery deepens.
And I do have people from college who I know still have things of mine that I let them borrow.
Oh my God.
But I will never reach out and ask for it. I won't.
That'd be like asking for extra ketchup at the restaurant. You just can't. You can't do it. You can't be expected to do that.
Can't do it. I mean,
did I tell you about the time? Here's a story that maybe I've told before. I was at a restaurant and I asked for a cup of ranch, and the woman gave me a look of horror, the likes of which I've never seen in my life.
Ew.
And I was like to dip my fries in, and she laughed really relievedly and then walked away. And then I realized she thought I just wanted a coffee mug full of ranch to drink like an animal.
I wish you had never clarified and she had been forced to bring it over. Here's your cup of ranch.
I just felt like that was a really normal thing to say. And even now when I order ranch, I'll be like, can I get a cup of ranch to get my fries in?
Yes.
Won't just I've been scarred because I never want to be looked at like that again.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I think, weird on their part to go there.
Was it her first day? Was she an alien? I don't know.
She's someone who's never asked for a side of a condiment ever, I guess.
No.
That's funny. I don't have anything to add. No.
Cool. Go ahead. I have got another misconnection for you then in that case.
Good. Well, anyway, suffice it to say, good luck. I hope you find Jill.
Good luck. Yeah.
And, don't be surprised if you don't. Rhonda at Big Grocery Store. Still thinking of your unwashed ass and sweaty leggings.
Why did you read that like a comic book villain? What the fuck?
I don't know. Is there a better way to read it? I feel like that's the way it had to be read. Wow. I won't lie. I had this one to end on because I don't know. Because I don't know what to say.
But what is there to say? I mean, we don't have to wax poetic about it. We can get through it quickly. I just wanted to say, how do they know her ass is unwashed if it's inside pants? I think you would have to get close to an ass to determine that it is not washed.
Yeah, and we know this is happening at Big Grocery Store. So to get in that level, there's two relationships that can be taking place, right? We could have an employee to shopper relationship, or we could have two employees, or two shoppers. I guess that's a third potential relationship. Two shoppers. One of them, they know each other colloquially. They shared first names. They know it's Rhonda, and maybe they were bending over to get the Brussels sprouts when Rhonda was by them, and they just
Just
trying to get a whiff of the sprouts, and they got a whiff of something else, and now they know. And
just
you
thinking
know,
about that
they were
unwashed
into
ass.
it.
Yeah,
they
just
were
thinking about it.
Yeah,
obsessed with that unwashed ass and those sweaty leggings.
And frankly, whichever of the three possible relationships it is, that's kind of the way it had to go down, right? You had to accidentally get a whiff of someone's ass.
I am so uncomfortable with the idea of a whiff of an ass. I don't like that at all.
It's not a situation most of us have been in. I think most of us actively try to avoid it unless that is your thing. And we don't kink shame here on Crisis After Crisis.
As long as it's consensual ass sniffing.
That's the thing. If Rhonda's not into this, then we got a problem.
Then stay away from her unwashed ass.
Then we must protect Rhonda's unwashed ass at all cost. And that, frankly, we're all washing a little less nowadays. So the judgment, if there is any, was not coming from us.
Speak for yourself. I got a bidet, so my ass is probably the most washed it's ever been in its life.
Well, here now, does it wash it or does it just like power wash it? Like,
okay, so you just said the same thing, but one time with power in front of it.
Well, you know, is it a clean, is there a soap application process, or is it just pressure?
It's just pressure. You don't need to soap your butthole every day. You're going to dry it out.
Sure. Okay.
Your butt is a very delicate flora of bacterias. It's like you're not supposed to put soap in your coochie, everybody. Don't do it. That's big douche trying to sell to you. All right, anyways, that's enough of hygiene, I suppose. Talon hated that I said he shouldn't be soaping his butthole.
I mean, listen, I
don't wash
hate it. I just don't know. Maybe this is another poll. I don't know. Maybe people have different opinions.
Do you directly soap your butthole?
What do you mean? Is this too intimate?
Is this too close for you?
I just don't know. I don't know what you mean.
Well, do you apply soap directly to your butthole,
or do I use some sort of middleman,
do you just use water pressure to clean your butt area, hole area,
I think
and
soap
butthole?
Is a part of it. I think.
Well, yeah, I think soap runs. Where it's gonna run.
Are you saying you just apply the soap on the higher parts of the body and let it run down?
No. I wash my legs with a loofah.
But the
butthole. I hate that we're having this conversation. I feel like this is too intimate. I usually don't have any boundaries. I'm fine. But then we started talking about this, and I was like, wow. God, do I want people to know this about me?
We found it.
We're really stretching our buttholes on
this
podcast.
Listen, let's get into it. You're saying,
yeah,
you don't, there's no sort of...
I don't directly apply soap to my butthole is what I'm saying.
Interesting.
And you do.
I do.
That is also interesting. I
genuinely don't know if one of us is wrong here.
I don't know. I would say that most things with my butthole I apply the coochie rule to. So you're not supposed to put soap inside your labia.
Sure, that makes sense.
Only water. So I treat my butthole the same way because I think that they're both sensitive and tender areas.
Yes. And, if I had been instructed...
honestly, if somebody is skipping this right now, I don't judge them at all.
I don't judge them either. But
fine.
Also, what do you think you're getting into when you start this podcast? We saved it for minute, 50-something
55, so you better be a real fan at this point.
So at this point, we're
God, I hope when I run for president, they don't play this soundbite.
I hope they do. And I don't know if it's going to hurt you or help you. I genuinely don't know if it'll gain you voters or
I think it
not.
really depends on if the majority of people are direct soap applicators or not.
I guess, whatever. You've been plenty vulnerable. I thank you for that. I apply directly to the bum
the
hole.
pucker.
Right in the whopper there. And to me, that is the only way I can achieve purity.
So it's a spiritual thing for you.
Yeah.
Water is not enough on its own.
The water... leaves some cleansing power to be desired for me.
Okay, because like bidets have like some umph behind them.
If that's the thing. If I could really
it's like power washing your butthole.
That would be that seems swell.
It is.
That seems like something when I bring a bidet into my life, or when I say try yours.
Have you not tried mine yet?
I haven't been over to give it a whirl.
You've been too scared.
I haven't been too scared. That's the reason I haven't been over in a while. Because
you've been too scared of my
bidet. I know
bidet.
when I do, you're going to make me try your bidet. And I don't know if I'm ready for it.
All right.
No, I'm willing to try. I just haven't yet. But that sounds like it'd be an improvement from, my shower head, which I'm very tall. The shower head's very high.
Yeah.
My bum is very low. I can't move
Lots of angles. There has to be
the water
angles
loses
involved.
power
by
the time it reaches the brown spot. So
I'm glad we had this conversation.
Me too. Honestly, I feel like if anything has brought us closer together, I hope it's brought us closer together with our listeners.
Our listener friends.
Which, I guess now they're just we'll use my final misconnection can go there as a treat for them because they've earned it.
Yeah.
And listen, did I originally choose it to end on? No. Will it still work?
Yes.
Will you be the judge, listener? Speaking of things by which our listeners are the judge, I did remember this, and I did want to say, we promised a poll last time we did an episode.
Yeah.
And we have the results of said poll.
This is so exciting. I don't have Instagram anymore, so I couldn't vote.
Well, we can ask you for your vote, I suppose.
Okay.
If you'd like to know. Listen, we got into the concept of spanking last episode, and the question that came up was, do adults who were as children spanked enjoy spanking more or less now? And also vice versa, if you were an adult who didn't get spanked as a child, are you someone who enjoys spanking now or not? Yeah. I have some numbers for you.
Please.
So, for people who voted in our poll on our Instagram, which we'll tell you how to find later if you are unaware, if you were spanked as a child, do you enjoy being spanked now? 58% of voters said no.
Oh,
they were
interesting.
spanked as children, and they do not enjoy being spanked now. Still, 42% of people who were spanked as children do enjoy being spanked at the moment. That's okay, minority, so but not a small minority.
Yeah, and that's fascinating data on its own. And then we have the second set of data, correct?
The second set of data, yes, which I think is even maybe more revealing. But if these are people who were not spanked as children, did not receive
spankings,
punishment, do they enjoy being spanked now? 67% of people who voted who were not spanked as children enjoy being spanked now.
I think that proves my thesis.
I think it does. 33% said no, they do not enjoy being spanked now, and they were not spanked as children. But 67 is pretty whopping. I think this proves what you were going for, which is that people who were not spanked
as children
enjoy being spanked as adults.
As adults.
And it seems to reason, that also mostly people who were spanked as children, such as myself, do not necessarily enjoy being spanked as an adult.
That is, we're doing science here, people.
We're doing actual
science. This is important.
Science.
We should get a grant from
absolutely.
NSF.
We're going to use this specific episode to apply for grants from the Nobel Peace Corps, from them, I guess.
Yep, that's what it's called.
It is. I still think it's very interesting, though, that there are 33% of people who weren't spanked as kids don't enjoy it now. There's a 33% of people just do not want to be spanked.
Don't want to be spanked. Not into it.
Never spanked. I call it.
Obviously, we will not reveal the identities of anyone who voted in these polls.
Here are the names of the people who enjoy being spanked. Alphabetically.
Could you imagine? And their Instagram handles.
So you can at them.
That's incredible. But thank you to everyone who voted in that, though. I appreciate it because that, it's vulnerable. You knew we could see who answered what, and you trusted us with that information.
I love that. Thank you for participating. We also got a funny story. I did share that. Now I don't know if you've seen, and I want to read it. Yeah. Someone, I will not reveal their identity. I will reveal it to you after the show.
Okay.
Because it's hilarious.
Okay.
But they replied to one of these polls. They said, it made me feel like what I did was actually really bad. Coming from a Scorpio, that's the greatest form of flattery. That was one message. And then they said, oh my God, just realized I read that as, did you enjoy being spanked as a child? Well, now you both know. Which is...
I feel like I know a couple Scorpios, and I feel like I know a Scorpio who would say something like that, so I got suspicions.
Well, we'll have to confirm in the post show. Yeah. But anyway...
Incredible. Thank you for that little insight into your psyche.
I loved it. Thank you so much for just making, I think, the whole show worth it, really. I think it was all just building to that moment for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I would agree.
Speaking of thank yous, we'll do our quick rigmarole here. Thank you, listener, for listening. We come out with these episodes once every other week. You can subscribe to us on the Apple Podcast app or on Spotify. Something that does us great amount of good is when you rate our podcast on the Apple Podcast app. It really helps us out. So please do that. If you leave a 5-star rating, Talon will read whatever's in it. If you want to leave a comment, he'll read it. And that really helps us out. Telling your friends about us also really helps us out. A little guerrilla marketing, you know? Speaking of CGI,
it doesn't help me out.
Chimps.
Doesn't help me out to have to read anything. You might say I could lose jobs. I could lose.
Yeah, this is really for you.
Sponsorships. Yeah,
this is for you.
You have a chance to really play a hand in my fate as an entertainer. So whatever you want me to say, I'll say it if it is accompanied by a 5-star review. If it's 4 stars, we'll appreciate that, and we'll take the criticism. I'm not gonna fucking read it.
Well, that's Talon's prerogative, I suppose. And if you want to participate in polls such as the one that we just did, please follow us on Instagram at Craig's Crisis. You can also find us on Twitter at Craig's Crisis or on Facebook at Craig's Crisis. If you want to send us an email with screenshots of fun misconnections you've seen in your area, or if you have a misconnection story you'd like to tell us, you can send those to us at craigcrypod@gmail.com. That's CRAIGCRIPod@gmail.com. We'd love to read those on air. We always love to hear from our listeners. Mm-hmm. And we'd like to thank Rosie Sherman for making our theme song. Just great music stuff. And she also does really great drawings and funny drawings and beautiful drawings. You can find her at Hey Shermy on Instagram. I think that's about all I've got to plug. You got anything, Talon?
Nothing too new. I will go ahead and put out another plug for Dearest Ava, the web series that I'll be in with some really amazing people, being made by an amazing crew, amazing director. It's full of black and brown joy and magic, and I'm really looking forward to just it coming out. I'm just as excited to watch it as anyone else should be. I don't know. It's been fun. So
you should be.
You should be. You can still get updates on that project at the Seed and Spark page. There'll be a link in the show notes for that. Also, follow Cryptic Films on Instagram. That's Cryptic with a K, Films. And get updates, especially in regards to when you can actually see the show.
Yeah. I'm so excited for it. It looks beautiful from what I've seen by following the Instagram and stuff.
It's thrilling to be a part of. Everyone in it is like acting their ass off, and I have been trusted with a part that is, I don't know how I got it, but I feel very lucky.
Pure talent. And good looks.
That too. Mostly that. Anyway, we've got one more misconnection for you. Sarah, I'll let you take it away when you are ready.
Woman I framed bee art for. I framed your bee art at Jansen Beach. My first initial is T. Yours are TS. It was inappropriate to say anything at work, but you are very interesting, and I'd like to hang out with you.
I mean, mostly I feel like that just deserve a pat on the back for, like, being an employee and showing some restraint. Anyway, I'm Talon Bigelow.
I'm Sarah Thompson.
This has been Craig's Existential Crisis. We'll see you in 2 weeks, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Or B. Do you think it was B movie art also? Was my other thought.
Yeah, it's definitely B movie, like, fan art.
It's definitely like
flying
a woman
into a coochie.
Having intercourse. Yeah, okay. So we're on the same page.
Yeah, we're on the same page. He's washing her butthole directly with soap.
Yeah, this is why we're co-hosts.